excited to invite you to enjoy a fantastic virtual event that we have organized for you, the Asia Pacific Conference of Young Scientists. Since 2012, the Asia Pacific Conference has been held in Indonesia, India, Nepal, Thailand, Russia, and this year in Mexico. Why Latin America? The cultural and commercial exchange and friendly relations between the Asia-Pacific region and Mexico are historic and have created a close bond. Although a great ocean separates us geographically, we share it at both ends, resulting in identity and sympathy that unites our countries. For the first time, the Asia-Pacific Conference of Young Scientists is being hosted in the Mexican territory, thanks to the National Network of Youth Activities in Science and Technology in Mexico, the University of Sonora, Mexican Ideas Developments, the Convention and Visitors Bureaus of Hermosillo, and UPAEP University. The Asia-Pacific Conference of Young Scientists aims to promote and foster a scientific research atmosphere amongst secondary students in the Asia-Pacific region by providing opportunities to share their research findings. The program includes conferences, private evaluations of projects and papers, scientific and cultural virtual tours, and ice-breaking activities. Of course, we will meet the gold, silver, and bronze winners of the mathematics, physics, environmental science, life sciences, and computer sciences categories during the awards ceremony. Even though we would like to meet all participants face-to-face, we know we still have to take care of each other. But we are sure that very soon we will gather together. Meanwhile, let's enjoy this fantastic event. Welcome to Mexico. Welcome to the beautiful state of Sonora. Welcome to the Asia Pacific Conference of Young Scientists 2021.
Scientists APCYS 2021. Finally, we are here all together ready to start this adventure. My name is Lisbela, and we are very thrilled to hold this event for the first time in Mexican territory. We will be streaming live from the University of Sonora State in Mexico. APCYS 2021 has been quite a challenge, and we are very excited to receive 120 participants from 21 countries presenting 86 projects. We're very happy to have all the participants here. Welcome, and we are very proud of you guys. Your projects have been amazing. Thanks to all the universities that helped us to hold this event in Mexico. Thank you to the University of Sonora, Unison. Thank you to UPAEP. Thank you to the National Network of Youth Activities in Science and Technology in Mexico, La Red MEX. Thank you to the Development of Mexican Ideas Association, DMEX, and for sure the APCYS Steering Committee for organizing this great event. Why Mexico and why Asia Pacific countries? Well, to learn more about this, I want to welcome Mr. Omar Wicap. Mr. Wicap has a degree and a master's in economics, a PhD in sociology of development. He has been academic coordinator of the master's degree in business and economic studies of the Faculty of Economics of the Autonomous University of Nayarit, director of the Research Journal of the Autonomous University of Nayarit, member of the Interinstitutional Committee for Postgraduate Studies of the APCYS, former president of the Autonomous University of Nayarit, and president of the Central Western Regional Council of the APCYS. He's a passionate researcher about economic development theory and development experience in Mexico and countries of the Pacific Rim. Mr. Wicap, welcome, and we are very excited to hear you. The mic is yours.
Thanks, Dr. Hidalgo, for this moment. The same to all the organizers. I appreciate the opportunity to share with you some ideas about the importance of our present relation with Asia I don't know what time is it in your countries, but here is morning, so good morning. So welcome to Mexico, welcome to my home. I would like to thank you for being here. Let's start. Today, I'm going to talk about some facts we share in terms of culture due to historical links with Asia. But first, I will say, this is only a very small part of a hidden treasure of facts little known by a majority of Mexican and Asians. For many centuries, Mexico and Asia shared an influential trade and exchange of culture and goods. Colonial Spanish relations began early during 16th century. Yes, during 17th and 18th centuries, the trade between Mexico and Asia was really important. During 3 centuries existed a trade route with many ships that traveled all the way on the Pacific to trade Mexican silver in exchange for many products, manufactures, crafts in particular from Asia. Please, the presentation is there.
¿Podría compartir en tu computadora, doctor?
What? Okay. All this trade was made through the Philippines. Manila was like a Mexican harbor extension to reach other Asian countries, particularly China. So many historians say that, in fact, the relationship between Mexico and the Philippines was nearer than with Spain. Yes, because Mexico was the intermediate point between these two countries. You can look at the fleet from China on most history documents in Mexico. The results of that commerce and exchange were not only craft or silver. Our countries were globalized, and our culture and traditions were highly influenced and adapted among our societies. So, some important traditions that Mexicans think are peculiar about our culture, in fact, are part of that symbiosis of Asian and Mexican cultures. I'm going to say some words that might sound heretical for Mexicans, but many iconic products from Mexico have this peculiarity. They are not completely Mexican. For example, tequila. Yes, my friends, el tequila is in part a product influenced by Asia. Why do I say that? Because the pre-Hispanic communities never developed a drink crafted by distilling. The ancient American cultures used to employ some agricultural products like corn or others to ferment them. So the crafting techniques for the agave and transforming it into a most tasteful drink are from Asian influence. The fleet that came regularly from Asia, maybe from the Philippines, brought us the alembics that were employed by the Spanish and Mexican to craft the tequila. So tequila is still crafted in Mexico with Asian techniques. Another heretic fact, you know, sabong, the cockfights are a tradition in rural Mexico, one most popular in urban fairs, entertainment, palenques. Yes, that is a Philippine institution tradition adopted by Mexicans. Do you like more heretic facts? The typical dress for the mestizo woman, la China poblana, the nature of that famous dress, the poblana Chinese, yes, was crafted in Asia. At the same time, on the opposite side, the most valuable silver coin that was traded in China for centuries was made in this territory called today Mexico. Yes, Mexican silver coins were famous in China and Far East. The most recognized sign of our silver coins was their imperfection. More interesting facts. Some Catholic traditions in the Philippines are Mexicans. You know, La Guadalupana, the Virgin of Guadalupe, is their saint patron. And most Catholic Philippine citizens who travel to Mexico visit La Basilica de Guadalupe to thank for miracles. I have never been to the Philippines, but one day I was traveling on a bus in London, and suddenly a person came to me to say, I'm Philippine. So I was shocked, but for her, finding me was like seeing a brother. The same happened to me in USA. Near the city I live, Tepic, Nayarit, there is a town named San Blas, Nayarit, the historic Mexican harbor where the fleet from China arrived. There you can still see people with Oriental facial features. The people used to think they were of Chinese descent. Still, in fact, they are of Philippine descendant. So many sailors found in Mexico a second home. Obviously, there are many Chinese descendant people in Mexico. The South Korean community is growing too in cities like Mexico and Guadalajara. Well, let's see. Let's change subject now. Who doesn't love to eat shrimp? In Mexico, shrimps are the most popular seafood, but the influence to eat shrimps came from Asia. So yes, when China opened its borders during the late 19th century, many Chinese men came to California, but not only to the United States. Let's remember the Chinese Exclusion Act in the US in 1882. So many Chinese men entered Mexico by La Baja, Sonora, and Sinaloa. And here where I live now in Nayarit, there are many Chinese descendants. They came here and they used to eat shrimps. So we learned to eat shrimps like them. Many more facts. During the Second World War, the Mexican government decided to help only one country. Why only one country? Because that country had a cultural and historical meaning to the Mexican soldiers. That country was the Philippines. So Mexico sent a squad of airplanes for the defense of the Philippines, the 201st Fighter Squadron. The Philippines is the only country in the world where Mexico has ever sent troops to protect it or to fight for, because for the Mexican, the Philippine people shared some historical links. They are like brother for us. Well, you know, I'm speaking historically. We have not forgotten that historical link with the Philippines and with the rest of the Far East. There are religion, culture, people, and many products and technologies were exchanged during centuries among our countries. Now, the situation is the opposite of the past centuries. Now, Mexico is the intermediate point between other cultures and Asia, for example, for trade, investments, technology, and other goods to assemble, to export to the US and Latin American countries. Now, Mexico is the most influential trade territory for Asian investors and factories. There are hundreds of landing airplanes or incoming ships from the Far East to satisfy US and Canadian markets. The same as the Philippines some centuries ago, now Mexico is the harbor to trade, the country to invest, and an exporting economy of goods to other countries. Now, Mexico is one of the most important countries by the value of its exports and the most important industrial exporter of industrial products from Latin America. So Mexico is now an important commercial partner of countries like South Korea and Japan. Less from China, that is linked to the trade of commodities with other Latin American countries. Mexico needs more industrial investments, and China is looking for inputs. But if we see a picture from the Economist magazine, it is possible to watch the tremendous exchanges we are experiencing right now. Probably soon we will see the influence of China, of Mexico and China growing in new projects and partnerships. On the other side, Mexico has been exporting to the world part of its culture and folklore. Particularly Mexican cuisine, tequila, and Corona beer are opening doors all over the world. Maybe you have eaten tomatoes, avocados, corn, cacao chocolate, peanuts, vanilla, which are part of our diet culture, part of your diet culture, but they are of Mexican origin. In fact, Mexican and Chinese food have the privilege of being part of the intangible cultural heritage treasures of the world, recognized by the United Nations organization. The influence of the Far East is growing quickly again, and the technology of communication and digital revolution is opening us the possibility to be closer to each other. The Mexican technology of the 3D employed in simulation of flights, spatial programs, etc., is part of the modern contribution of Mexican technology to the world, and many more. Like in the past, Mexico and Asia Pacific countries are learning we have many cultural facts and historical links in common. Also, a history of friendship, international cooperation, trade, and culture that we must keep and expand for a better future for our societies. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Mr. Wicap. This information has been quite a surprise, and we're glad to know more about the common history between countries. Well, I'm amazed about all what I have heard. I'm sure all the people who is hearing us is the same, shocked about this information. Well, to officially start, I want to welcome Mr. Roberto Hidalgo. He's the Chief Coordinator of the National Network of Youth Activities in Science and Technology, La Red MEX. Mr. Roberto, the mic is yours.
Hola amigos, hello everybody. My name is Roberto and I'm very proud to welcome you everybody to the Asia Pacific Conference of Young Scientists 21 in Mexico. So we are also very excited about the words of Dr. Omar Wicab. It's a very, very good friend and he's expert in the relationships in between Mexico and Asia. So we really are delighted to hear about how many things in common we have in Mexico with Asia Pacific. So thank you very much for these words. And now we are ready to start a week of surprises, a week of activities, together with 21 countries that are participating in this conference. So we are very proud also to receive for the very first time the APCYS in Mexico. As you know, this great event has been developed in many Asian countries in the last years, but for the first time is crossing the Pacific Ocean and arrives to our coasts in Mexico. So we are feeling part of this exciting movement, of this exciting idea, and we would like to contribute to the world in the field of the promotion of science and technology for youngsters. So we are ready to start. We have prepared a big effort with a lot of very important institutions. We are transmitting on live from the University of the State of Sonora, one of the biggest states in Mexico, and from its capital city, Hermosillo. So we really would like that you can be here with us, but because the pandemic, we can't make it possible, but maybe in the close future, we will think something about that. But for the moment, we are ready to start, and welcome to Hermosillo. Welcome to Sonora State. Welcome to Mexico. Thank you for the 21 countries participating in APCYS 21. Let's enjoy it.
Thank you very much, Mr. Roberto. Now I want to welcome Mrs. Monica Rajarty. She is APCYS Executive President and Co-Founder. Please, Monica, the mic is yours.
Thank you very much. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. I'm very grateful to welcome you all to the 10th Asia Pacific Conference of Young Scientists. Now, for the second time, this event is hosted virtually because of the COVID-19 pandemic. But under the leadership of Dr. Roberto Hidalgo, this online event is going very well and smoothly. And a few days ago, the students have completed their excellent presentations. Congratulations to all the young scientists from all over the world. In this opportunity, I would like to introduce you to worked for years for this conference. Thank you very much for taking care of APCYS. They are Professor Kwek Leong Chuan, I understand he's here, from National University of Singapore, Professor Ramli Mustafa, from Sultan Idris University of Education, Malaysia, Professor Chow Ming Fu from National Taiwan University, Mrs. Sri Setyawati Saiful from Center for Young Scientists Indonesia, Mr. Shailendra Harahap from 1928 ID Indonesia, Mr. Sanjay Paramari, Assistant Director in Sports, Co-Curricular and Art Division, Ministry of Education, Malaysia, Anuj Sinha, and Dr. Piyush Kumar from Foundation for Global Science Initiative, India, Professor Rameswar Adhikari from Tribhuvan University, Kathmandu, Nepal, Dr. Min Medisuwakul from KVIS, Thailand, and Dr. Vasily Pavlov from Sakha Junior Science Academy, Republic of Sakha, Russia. I would like to extend my gratitude to some important people and institutions in Mexico. From University of Sonora, Ms. Diana Meza, PhD, Linking and Dissemination Director, Rita Plancarte, PhD, Unison Principal, Armando Ayala, PhD, Physics Department Coordinator, Juan Pablo Soto, PhD, Mathematics Department Coordinator, Ezequiel Rodriguez, PhD, Professor for the Physics Department. From the National Network for Youth Activities in Science and Technology in Mexico, Dr. Roberto Hidalgo, Chief Coordinator. Also thanks to UPIPE University, and then also to the Association Development of Mexican Ideas and the Office of Convention and Visitor Bureau of Hermosillo, Luz Maria Castillo, the President, Francisco Garcia, Director. Thank you very much for making this international event happen from the bottom of my heart. Last but not least, I wish you all have an enjoyable conference of APCYS 2021 in Mexico. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, dear Monica, for your nice words. And last but not least, I would like to welcome Mrs. Daniela Mesa, Director of Support for Linking and Dissemination at Unison University. Dear Mrs. Mesa, the mic is yours.
Thank you. Dr. Monica Rajarty, President and Co-Founder of APCYS, Dr. Roberto Hidalgo, General Coordinator of the National Network of Youth Activities in Science and Technology, and president of the International Movement for Scientific and Technical Recreation. Authorities from the Universidad Popular Autónoma del Estado de Puebla, National Network of Scientific and Technological Activities for Youth in Mexico, Desarrollos de Ideas Mexicanas, Hermosillo Convention and Visitors Bureau, professors and students. Good morning or good afternoon to all of you. I am on behalf of Dr. Rita Plancarte, President of the University of Sonora, who sends the following words to you. For the first time, the Asia-Pacific Conference for Young Scientists is taking place outside the Asian region, and Mexico is the host of this great event. The University of Sonora will be the venue for the research projects to be presented in the following days. It is an honor to our institution to host this important event, and at the same time, it is a great commitment that we gladly assume. This conference is possible thanks to the close relationship between our countries and the dedication of our professors in the areas of mathematics, physics, engineering, environment, informatics, health, and social sciences, which all of them have national and international recognition. We are very pleased to be part of the organizing committee of the Asia Pacific Conference of Young Scientists, APCYS 2021, because for the University of Sonora, it is very important to support the scientific vocations of the youngsters. As you know, the event is looking to promote and encourage scientific research performed by high school students in the Asia Pacific regions. This is fascinating because from an early age, it stimulates the search for solutions to specific problems of the communities, which reinforces the hope that thanks to the vision of young people, the Sustainable Development Goals of the United Nations Agenda 2030 will be achieved. We find that 86 projects of students between 13 and 18 years of age from 21 countries will participate in APCYS 2021. They will share their vision of the problems affecting their immediate environment, and they will propose solutions that can be replicated in other regions with similar problems. This conference also connects young people from several and different places, such as Tunisia, El Salvador, Nepal, the Philippines, and Ukraine, forming a network of students who are the next generation of scientists. The spirit of innovation and collaboration doesn't stop in the face of the major threats that are facing the planet. The Asia Pacific Conference of Young Scientists 2021 is a great example of universal resilience because it brings together a network of young people who participate in the construction of the future. Before concluding these words, I would like to acknowledge the collaboration and company of the National Network of Youth Activities in Science and Technology, the Universidad Popular Autónoma del Estado de Puebla, the corporations Desarrollos de Ideas Mexicanas, the Hermosillo Convention and Visitors Bureau, as well as the professors of the University of Sonora. Thank you for your effort and participation. I also thank Unison TV, who are helping us with the recording of the event. We trust the young people and their professors, and we believe in the transformative force of the science. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here. Welcome to all of you. At 6:35 a.m. local time in Hermosillo, Sonora, Mexico, on September 27, 2021, the 10th Asia Pacific Conference of Young Scientists is formally inaugurated. Welcome to all of you to Sonora.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Mesa, and thank you for receiving us in this great university. And thank you, all of you, for being part of APCYS 2021 opening ceremony. And don't miss any part of this great program we have for you. In 10 minutes, we will start with the first conference by Dr. Paul Zavala. Remember that in every conference we're presenting, you will be able to ask questions to the speakers through the corresponding social media. Thank you very much and see you in some minutes.